Mainly they are non-Muslims written against Islam. They are mentioning Quran is not the word of God. There are so many grammatical errors in the Quran. There are so many unscientific points in the Quran, which no Muslim is replying. It's a shame on us. No Muslim is replying. Very few organizations. Very few organizations. There are chatting channels on the internet. There are channels. How you have satellite channels? It's somewhat different, but even they are called chatting channels. On the internet, you have chatting channels. Many of them are run by Christian missionaries, known as Jesus Cafe, etc. When you enter this channel, you can have a question and answer session with them. We in IRF, alhamdulillah, we sit in Bombay and do Dhawa on an individual basis with people in America, people in UK, people in Singapore, throughout the world, alhamdulillah, at our fingertips. We type, the question comes on his screen. He gives the answer, it comes on our screen. Are you aware that you can do Dhawa sitting in your home, sitting in your office, on one-to-one basis? You know, if I have to speak on telephone for 2 hours, you know how much I have to spend? If I have to speak to America 2 hours, how much will it cost me? How much? Tens of thousands of rupees. On email, just 10, 20 rupees. 30, 40 rupees. And not with one person, simultaneously I'm speaking with 20 people. It's like conferencing. I'm having a conference telephone with a person in America, one sitting in London, one sitting in Singapore, one in Malaysia, conferencing. All 5 are chatting with each other doing Dhawa. If I have a conference line, how much will it cost me? The world is advancing. How many people know how to use the internet? But doing Dhawa, presenting Islam on these chatting channels is a different technique. It's altogether different. See, having knowledge of Islam is a must for any type of Dhawa. Whether oral, whether writing, whether video, knowledge. But the technique keeps on changing. The technique keeps on changing. And we at IRF, alhamdulillah, we train the people how to talk. And we have a unique style of doing Dhawa that whenever we meet a non-Muslim or non-Muslim comes to us, instead of talking 1,000 good points about Islam, even after we convince 1,000 good points about Islam, that non-Muslim will say, you're the man who marries more than one woman. You're the man who keeps the woman in the veil. Oh, you're the people who don't have alcohol, don't have pork. You're the people who have non-veg, ruthless people. You speak 1,000 good points, but the few negative points in his mind will never make him accept Islam. Never. So what we do, instead of talking 1,000 good points about Islam, what we say is, what do you think is wrong with Islam? With your limited knowledge. Whether right or wrong, whatever knowledge you have about Islam from media, from newspaper, from television, from magazine, what do you feel is wrong with Islam? And we tell him, brother, you're most welcome to criticize Islam, no problem. We can take it. We can take it. You want to criticize the Quran, no problem. Just give us the reason why do you criticize it. So they come up with their questions. And we have done a survey and we have come to know there are hardly 20 questions which the non-Muslims have against Islam, which a common non-Muslim has. The common non-Muslim is 80% non-Muslim. If they ask you a question on Islam, they will ask you 5 or 6 questions. All these 5 or 6 questions asked by common 80% of the non-Muslim will fall within these 20 questions. We have done a survey. Common 20 questions. Like, as I told you, why is the Muslim man allowed to have more than one wife? Why do you keep the woman in the veil? Why do women inherit half the share of the men? Why do you all have non-veg? Why don't you all have pork? Why don't you have alcohol? What's the meaning of jihad? Why do you all worship the Kaaba? Why aren't non-Muslims allowed in the holy city of Makkah? These are the common questions they ask. So what we do, we want each and every Muslim in the world should be able to answer these questions pit-pat, with references. And these common 20 questions will remain the same, irrespective whether you are in India, whether in America, whether in Europe, throughout the world, these 20 common questions are the same. There may be additional 2 or 3 questions based on the locality. Like when I had gone to state, the additional question was that, can we buy a house, mortgage, loan from a bank? Allowed, haram or halal. Can we have chicken from McDonald's? Can we have Kentucky Fried Chicken? Additional 2 questions. But the remaining 20 questions are the same. See, these 20 questions have emerged. How? Because the media is bombarding, by the help of the media, they're bombarding the people with this information. Against women, women in Islam don't get their rights, Quran conflicts with science. So these 20 questions have emerged. These 20 questions may change after 5 years, after 2 years. But today, these 20 questions are prevalent. So if every Muslim knows the answer of these 20 questions, you can neutralize 80% of the non-Muslims, 80%. These 20 questions may change after a few years. But now, you should be prepared. And when you give the answer, we give the answer on various levels. We should train them, we should be professionals. How many professional da'is do we have? How many? How many full-time da'is do we have in the Muslim world? Supposed to be a religion of missionaries. Do you know the Christians have 60,000 crusaders raising dust throughout the world? 60,000 paid people, paid full-time workers. Not clerks and all, actual dawahs giving talks throughout the world. 60,000. How many international da'is do we have? You can count them on your fingertips. How many? It's a shame on us. We are supposed to be a religion of missionaries. It's a shame on us.